Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Podstock Sessions Spotlight. Today, I get to sit with one of my favorite people in the world. Absolutely, truly. I don't say that lightly. John Martin. John is he's a Podstocker from, that sounds bad, Podstocker. Podstock friend, family.
There you go,
For years back, lives in Sandwich, New Hampshire, and comes in. You come in almost every single year, haven't you, John?
A bunch. There were a couple of years where I was changing jobs and I missed a couple, and that broke my heart, but I'm making it this year.
Well, I'm really glad you are facilitating one of our 3-hour sessions, and it's all about badges, micro-credentialing, and all that entails. I can't wait, because you've been doing this a few years, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what gets you excited about badges and micro-credentialing for K-12 schools, for educators, for students?
One of the biggest things, and there's an old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so often in schools, what we do is we try to take all of these courses and make these mass things where unless you learn all of it, you don't pass. And micro-credentials recognize the fact that people learn at different paces and at different times and in different ways. And sometimes you don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might go 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. As you're starting to put all those pieces together. But what's important isn't the chronology necessarily, but the fact that by the time you're done, you have all of the pieces necessary to demonstrate your proficiency in whatever area you're being assessed in. Boy Scouts, for example, and I know that as you and I had talked, Kansas is exploring badges in terms of the metaphor that the Scouts Association now uses, where they give you very discrete tasks. And the expectation is that you will go through the steps that are necessary to learn and then demonstrate your proficiency of your learning so that you can move on. Some of those tasks stand independently, and others are kind of the doorway to future steps. Take rock climbing, for example. I'm a big rock climber. I wouldn't necessarily have somebody give them a rope, give them a harness, and say, okay, go scale that cliff. We're going to lead them up into that. And so in the same way that you want to scaffold rock climbing, you're going to scaffold your learning. And micro-credentials give you small, bite-sized people, to get back to our elephant metaphor, they give you small, bite-sized pieces that allow you to work towards a larger goal.
I got to tell you, that is probably the most handy description of the benefits here. So again, this is awesome. So tell us about some of the things that, some ideas, something that people can build as an outcome of learning in this session. So what are they going to be able to take away from this work to help their students and their schools?
I think the biggest thing is an understanding of what micro-credentialing is and what badges are and what they can be, as opposed to what a lot of folks have come to say. What we want people to do is to say, all right, I'm stepping into this. I want to understand, if I'm going to create a badge, what are the pieces that go into that? What are the discrete steps that I need to be able to take? What are my outcomes? What are my learners, whether they're students or teachers? Because a lot of people are using micro-credentialing for professional development. Rather than go through an 8-hour day and say, all right, you sat through 8 hours of, I don't want to call it meaningless, but often, yes, you check the box, and sometimes it's less than stellar PD. Now you can take that 8 hours and break it down into 8 sessions that are exactly what your teacher needs at the time that they need it to best serve their learners. And so those are the kinds of things, when people are coming to our micro-credentialing and badges sessions, we want them to come with ideas on how they might want to implement that. With students, one of the things that we often do is we turn them loose with technology, but we give them no instructions at all on some of the steps on how to take care of it. So for example, you have a video camera. Our school has Laker News Network. It's a student-driven news show. That's great. How do you use the camera? How do you take care of the camera? How do you transfer your data from the camera to the system to make sure that your newscast comes off? More importantly, do you understand the whys behind the camera? Have you gotten the releases from the people who you're taking pictures of? So all of those pieces, before you turn them loose, they should probably be demonstrating their proficiency in that area to ensure that they're protecting not only themselves, but the people along the way.
I love it. I love it. Folks, you are going to learn so much with John. I know that there are people who are really excited about this sort of work and have been dabbling in it, so I know they'll be in your session, so that you're going to learn from them. Folks, it is July 18, 19, 20, Wichita, Kansas. Go to podstock.org for all information. John, thanks for doing this, and thanks for coming to visit us each year.
My pleasure. Can't wait to meet my family.